Highly ambitious research needs funds. For a research team or an R&D intensive company, the acquisition of funding is a permanent challenge. They need to know where to get funds for their research in innovative technological developments and how to acquire and how to deal with funds. The International Funding Forum is a 2-day conference to give answers to these questions. From basic research towards new products on the market, the conference provides you with an overview of possible funding resources. Therefore, we invite representatives of funding institutions and the best experts in the field.
Actually, I'm grateful to the organizers for forcing me to think a little formally about fundraising, because this has never been something this is something, as an academic scientist, is something that you do. You don't think very much about structures in funding and so. But I was presented with a list of questions. So the first question that was brought about, where did you apply for grants? Essentially everywhere.
On the first conference day, the research community has access to specific information about funds by presentations of funding institution representatives, researchers in academia and in high-tech companies who share their experiences in specific access to financial resources. There is an academic, mainly basic research-oriented session and a session oriented towards applied research to attract industry.
It's very clear that the pharmaceutical industry does not have the wealth of ideas to fuel their portfolios. They need projects.
The funding forum creates a win-win situation for all the participants. For the researchers, it is an opportunity to accumulate specific funding knowledge for their needs.
Researchers, we don't really have time to find in a lot of websites or wherever for all these informations. So now today we get everything collectively in one day. So it's very, very useful for us.
A great advantage of the forum is the possibility to directly interact with key stakeholders. The mix of the audience, consisting of members of different faculties of universities, business developers and CEOs of innovative SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, and research managers, gives you also the chance to share individual experiences, views, and to get connected. The critical mass of public and private funding institutions, foundations, and major initiatives are also present with their booths at the so-called science market.
You would recommend it to the researcher, administrative staff, management staff, all kind of level, because all of them, they need to know how to find resources, funding, and how to collaborate at the international level. So it could be for every kind of scale of main actors.
The representatives of the funding institutions do their job, namely to communicate their offer to the research society with a minimum investment of time and costs. At the same time, they get updated about complementary funds themselves and can exchange experiences with colleagues of other institutions about how to improve the services in order to meet the need of the researchers.
The take-home message I would like to get across is that the long-term financing of research and development in Europe is one of the most important public tasks that can be fulfilled by the EU and the national states. And the European Investment Bank, through its generous support by the European Commission under the risk-sharing finance facility, is one of the main suppliers of debt financing and venture capital financing to Europe's research-based companies.
The take-home message of my speeches is, if you have a great idea that you think should end up in a startup company, get moving, talk to people like us, the venture capitalists, and other people who can provide financing, and try it hard.
The second day is the training day. Participants learn how to get started with their own projects and how to apply successfully for funds. In different workshops, you can refine your abilities in proposal writing, project management, and about dealing with intellectual property and venture capital. You learn how important it is to market your research, and you will perform a presentation of your project in front of fellow researchers.
The ground is laid. We are now addressing research-intensive regions in Europe, as well as interested economic areas, to host the next series of this international event, Funding Forum. If you are interested in this opportunity, please contact us.
We hope to welcome you at the next Funding Forum.
And we wish you good luck with your future R&D projects.